All right, welcome back to Tanares RPG, Tanares Adventures, or just the world of Tanares. Playing So 6 here, doing another update video today for you guys. So we got a bunch of things we're going to cover. I usually like to do a quick rundown for the people that don't really like to hang out and listen to me ramble on about different details. So I'll quickly go over here. So we're going to be talking about the pledge manager status today. I guess I should clarify real quick. This is only applicable, if you're watching this video later, it's only applicable as of March 18th, 2020. The status or information could change by the time we get to next week, or if you view this 3 weeks later, they may be fully open at that point and won't even be quite as useful for you. But anyway, so here's the information. So the pledge manager will not open for everyone until next week. Unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at with that. If you've been kind of following the chat, you'll know, or the discussions that have been going on Discord as well as Kickstarter, you'll know that the $5 tier has been opened, and it's been open since Tuesday, but we've unfortunately run into a bunch of bugs that caused a lot of problems. And anyway, so we haven't been able to open for everyone. We're trying to get it open as soon as possible, but right now it's not going to be open for everyone until next week. All right, next thing that we're going to be talking about is Tanares Adventures update. Basically, it's very short and sweet type of update, very different than what we've had before, which is exactly what a lot of you guys have been asking for. I know there's some people that do like they like the longer updates, but this one is going to be a shorter one. The other thing is that they're going to change that to a 2-week cadence instead of a monthly update. So that should be good news for you guys. All right, the third thing that I'm talking about in this video is a community contest. It's called the Tasting Tanares Menu Contest. So it's making a fantasy menu style that fits for the world of Tanares, and there will be prizes for that. That's occurring in Discord, specifically in the Tanares Tales channel. You'll see the written rules there, and of course I'll be talking about that today. So that's the other topic. Last thing is a pledge manager short preview right before this update here. I did finally get an email. That's because not because I'm some like a different tier or anything, but Dragori was able to get me in so I can help you guys resolve any issues and questions, or at least get a better idea of where we're at, and to be able to help you easier. So I'm going to do a full pledge manager review video. So don't worry, it's not going to cover everything in the pledge manager. I'm just going to touch on a few little things that I've seen real quick, and I'm going to come back to all this stuff later and go over it again. So even if you can't watch right now, don't worry about it. We'll go over this again. Okay, so that is the quick and dirty for the people that just kind of want to watch and get out. Or go enjoy your weekend. But for people that want to know more detail, we're going into that now. So the pledge manager status, going back to that, like I said, applies only for today, March 18th, 2022. Things can change by the time we get to next week, or even weeks from now, right? All right, so the $5 tier should be resolved by now is the newest information. So if you are a $5 tier backer, then make sure to go into the pledge manager and try completing your order. Let us know if there's issues with your order. I'm working with different people on the team from Dragori, and they're working with CrowdOx. So you can either let me know in the comments, or even better is sending an email to contact@dragorigames.com, and make sure to send screenshots of the issue explaining what exactly the problem that you're having, and we'll try to get that stuff fixed up for you guys. But at least from what I've heard now is it's supposed to be fixed, resolved, and if there's any other issues, then we can keep digging into that. So unfortunately, due to the issues that are being resolved, and the team, of course, now doing a lot of additional testing at other tier levels, that they weren't able to open this week, unfortunately, like we really wanted to. So now the earliest that we could see tiers for, so for Monday is going to be tiers from the $5 pledge up to the super kit on Monday. So that's at least the plan for now. Things, if we run into a lot of other issues or whatever, then that might change. So let's look real quick to talk about what pledges those specifically are. So it's obviously the $5 pledge. And then basically we're going up in value. So I think it's pretty much everybody that's like, the all digital books and files, the hard book plus PDF. Whoops, sorry about that. The one digital book, and then the $5, and then I think there is still just like that. Yeah, the super kit. Here we go. The $249. So if you're in those, then it is probably pretty likely it could open on Monday. But like I said, this is based on the best information that we have now, and that can change. For everyone else above that, like I said, hopefully next week. We don't have firm dates, and really, right, it kind of depends on what happens where we're at now. And then when we open those other tiers, if there's other issues that might slow it down, then it could take a little bit longer. But I've already confirmed with Alex that the ending date of the pledge manager is going to be further out. So it's not going to be, right from when we opened on Tuesday. We're going to give more time, so everyone has the 45 days to complete it. So I can't give you the exact date, obviously, because we have to open everything up. By the way, if you have questions, make sure to just leave it in the comment, and I'll try to answer them as we're going along. So to try to give a little more clarity as to what's been going on, basically there's been a whole bunch of different issues, things that have been reported. One of the big ones that I know is that for returning backers, so there were some people that didn't have their pledges closed, so it caused some errors going into this new pledge manager that they should have already had closed, but they didn't. So that was one. Another one was that there was some returning backers that did like that $5 pledge level, and for basically the system, I think, would read it as like they haven't fully finished their order, and so it would apply either, and there was both situations too, either as a credit or a debt. So some people were seeing like $700 worth of credits as soon as they got into the system, and none of their orders, their previous Tanares Adventures orders being there anymore. It was all gone. And then for other backers, they were logging in and seeing like they haven't added anything yet, and they're already seeing like $150, $200, $400 debts as soon as they walked in. So that's, obviously a major issue. And yeah, anyway, I can't say anything to the testing because unfortunately I wasn't even allowed, or I wasn't in the testing. I did ask them about that, but I don't think they had a way to like get me in at that time. But now that it has opened up, I've been able to get in. Okay, so anyway, let's try to give a little clarity as to what's going on. Get in those big things. There was a few other issues. I think somebody had mentioned some stuff about the legendary box. I looked at the pricing today. It does look correct today, so it is higher. The legendary box is priced higher than it was before, which makes sense. we really expected that it was probably going to go up in price from what it was before. So that's just, kind of what that is. Anyway, we'll get into more stuff later here. So let's move into our next topic, which is the Tanares Adventures update. So this week, Alex put out a very short and sweet update. Biggest points from this is there will be a new update every 2 weeks now. The next thing is that the shipping for Tanares Adventures campaign and all of Wave 2 is expected to ship at the end of June, is what he wrote in the update here. There's a few things impacting that. So one big one is that some of the molds that they created previously, I think, had some mistakes in there. So they're being reworked after they had printed those some of the miniatures out and had issues with them. So they're reworking those. And anyway, so that's one of the big issues. Another thing is they're still working on finishing the rule book. They're doing additional quest guide and quest testing, and improving the journal through stories and other writing. So that is still in progress. So Carlos here asks, what is the price of the legendary box now? The price of the legendary box now is $129. So it's $10 more than it was before, which means that the legendary box plus Elder Dragon is now $10 more than that. So now we're up at $139 for the Elder Dragon being added on there. So if you tried to get the Elder Dragon separately, I believe it's like $35. So you are still saving a lot of money by getting it with the legendary box. But anyway, so it did go up $10. Okay, so he talks about, some of the production issues. I think there was even potentially, some painting issues, testing for the Madness box. So they're doing some more testing there. And so anyway, in terms of that, they're still working on things, not there yet. All right, translation pack correction. If you followed Discord at all, I did discuss this already, and Dragori did correct in the comments, but it's been officially posted now for everybody. But basically what it was there was some confusion in the way that Dan used his wording, and what he was trying to describe wasn't exactly that. So somebody that ordered a language pack is still going to receive an English copy of Tanares Adventures, but that language pack is going to come separately. It's going to, for Tanares Adventures, is actually going to come in the RPG wave, and you'll get it then. So unfortunately, of course that's delayed, although we've, kind of known that was coming for a few months now, but maybe not everyone's aware of that. But the good thing about this is previously the Tanares Adventures translation was only going to be for gameplay components. So anything that you actually needed to play the game, which specifically there was a document that was, it was called the Dossier. And it's actually kind of funny that Dragori's never talked about it that much before. I personally did not see it, but the way that it was described actually sounded really interesting to me. Basically, it provides a little extra lore or background type information to different quests and the world of Tanares as you're going through. And that was a separate document that they were planning not to actually incorporate and translate because it doesn't impact the gameplay. There's no piece of information that's hidden in there that's going to help you solve any puzzles or anything like that. It's just kind of for funsies type of thing. But anyway, the point is all of it's being translated now versus before it was just gameplay components. So that is good for translation pack owners there. Okay, next up is, the code is correct. The price for the legendary box actually is a very good price. You're getting basically all of the Kickstarter stretch goal content and the first expansion from from the original campaign, and you're getting some of the extra little add-on type package deal things. So, the bruisers and the Hydra and all that as well, and the Balroth and everything. But that was part of the stretch goals. So anyway, you're getting a lot still with the Legendary box. Definitely still a really great value. All right, so moving on. Next is clarification for, I thought I had one more. Yeah. Okay, so here it is. So if you're a Tanares Adventures backer, basically this is that double campaign confusion. So short and sweet is if you're a Tanares Adventures backer only, you didn't back the RPG, there's nothing you have to do. That's it. Straight up, that's it. You don't have to do anything. You're not going to receive an email. But if you want to get into the RPG, you have to go to CrowdOx, go through the late pledge, and you can get in that way. Now, I guess one thing I should clarify, since it did come up, I think today and yesterday. So you can sign up for the late pledge, but the late pledge is not open yet. So you'll sign up, and eventually you'll get the email once we can open up for everybody, but you're not going to get it immediately, but you'll be on the list to get one. So you can do that. Another minor thing to note that Alex talked about here is, even though Tanares Adventures is behind on its own schedule, the RPG actually did help to improve the game through additional art assets, lore, characters, and stories, and even some of the quests were improved from it because of it. I'm sorry. So I know it's extremely frustrating topic for a lot of people, and not everyone's going to essentially believe my words or Dragori's words, but I do believe that there was, because I've seen some of the other artwork and them say, oh, well, this is artwork that's came from the RPG, that had Dragori rushed the game, it would not have existed. Had Dragori rushed what they had, essentially, like I'd say like a little bit more than a year ago, maybe a year and like 3 months ago, it's probably a much worse experience than what you guys are going to get. So I am going to be going down there pretty soon, and so I'll be able to get a little more background on information on what kind of design and things changed over the time, because of course I've been playing the revised version from what they initially did. Anyway, so that's the last on that. Let me get to a question. Thanks for info. If I'm a returning backer and also back the last campaign, so I don't have to spend again the credits already used from the last campaign. So are you saying that you had extra credits, or are you saying just in general with your order? So yeah, let me know what exactly you mean by that. Have they said which are the roles for every hero on Tanares, including villains that could become heroes? It has been, actually, it's kind of been shown before. There has been some changes. So for people that haven't followed along, for a long time, we were going to have hybrid characters. And I actually mentioned in an earlier video that hybrid characters were really cool in theory, but unfortunately when they were doing development, there was some situations that they ran into where they essentially couldn't have the hybrid characters essentially work between PvP and PvE. And Dragori didn't want to make the game even more complex and difficult by changing stat information, for example, between the two. So basically what they did was they were going to just split it, and I convinced them just to get rid of hybrids, because what we had at one point was pretty much it was just all the things that made hybrid special, which was like the different stats and the different passives, all went away. And so then it was just an idea that this character has some abilities of one class and some of another, but there was nothing that distinguished that other than the theory that the theme was different. But we had plenty of examples of like Askren the Archangel, who already did that. Like he was already basically two separate characters to begin with. And there's even more, like, Renkier is kind of like multiple characters as well. So it just didn't work. They ended up canceling that. In terms of your question, I don't have like the list in front of me as to what they are, but we'll probably be getting that soon. I did talk to Michael today just a little bit, and one of the things that we're definitely working on here soon is getting that component list for you guys, because in my opinion, that's one of the biggest things as well. Everyone needs to know exactly what it is that they're purchasing, and so to me, that's a top priority for you guys. Okay, let's move on. Looks like Carlos is looking up here. He's clarifying. All right, so Tanares, tasting Tanares menu contest. Let me pull up Discord real quick. All right. Just clicking things over. Hold on. Okay, so what we have here is the beginnings here of the Tasting Tanares contest. So I know it's maybe not a subject that everyone's going to be interested in about, but it was something that I thought that might be kind of fun for people to do, to think about. There's a lot of disappointment, obviously, in the comments, which I definitely understand, and Dragori understands, and they feel bad about. But with things like with Crowdox trying to fix these issues, there's really not a lot we can do at this point, right? We can just kind of hang out, and then hopefully it opens. But something, this is the kind of thing that when you're dealing with this, it's like, let's just do something fun instead of just focus on the negative. So what it is this contest here, and I'll read the rules here. So the basically you're coming up with your own menu of Tanares themed food items or menu. So it could be a single item or it could be multiple. So you're coming up with the best Tanares menu that you can actually make in real life. That's the quick summary. So number one, the first rule, and of course my lights always get messed up. Your menu needs at least one food or drink item, but you can have as many as you want. So obviously that's, that in my opinion, that's kind of obvious, but I thought I'd clarify that for anybody else. Second thing is your item needs to be stylized like it was a food or drink item in the world of Tanares. So try to, make it seem like it's something that could fit in the world of Tanares. It could be just the name. It could include the name and ingredients types of things, or maybe where the food comes from. Like you can go, as much or little as you want on this. You must provide an ingredients list with real ingredients and quantities. You can have the flavor text, such an example here is like tamaku mustard. Okay, so it's tamaku mustard, ooh, but it's mustard. So you're saying, made with bubble, 1 cup or something of tamaku mustard. And then, either parentheses or something say like, regular yellow mustard or whatever is fine. You must provide instructions how to make the item you're describing. So you can't say just, we're going to make, this special stew or whatever. And here's the ingredients, and just kind of like, put it together somehow. So you need to have, at least a little bit instruction as how do you put it together, for, as obviously with the ingredients and the quantities. And then, so you will get bonus points if you can make and take a picture of the food. Additionally, more unique food options will be given more points than a standard food. So I gave an example of, if you said, look, it's the Brute Burger, but it's just like a standard, hamburger. To me, that's not really the whole theme of the contest. Like, the whole point is kind of get into a little bit more, and maybe it's a more unique food, or maybe you just have more stylized or some history to the food or something like that to make it more interesting than just I gave the food name an interesting name and that's it. Okay, 6, 1 entry per person, and it must be submitted before the closing date. The closing date currently, but this could be extended, especially due to the pledge manager, because kind of the idea of this too is that you guys will be able to use this prize for your pledge manager. So the contest will run until currently April 24th at 9 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. The prizes, there are prizes. There's three prizes. First place is, and I'm still working out the exact details. I talked to Alex a little bit about this today, but he's super busy with the PM, so I don't think he was fully on board with or at least he wasn't fully paying attention to everything I was saying about it. But basically, I'd be sending you like $30 either cash via like PayPal or something, or it would appear as like a credit on your order in Tanares Adventures. So the good thing about this is, even if you're like an all-in backer that already has like paid for everything, for example, you could apply this to shipping and thus save you a little bit of shipping. Second place, $20. Third place, $10. So I will be kind of updating this rule set here as we're, at least the prize amounts for sure, as we're going along. Judging will be done by me and the Dragori team to determine the top 3 menus. And the rules may be slightly altered before the end of the contest, but the spirit of the rules will remain the same, which I think is obvious. And then I guess the one thing I forgot to mention in here is that so not only will you win like potentially credits or something to use for your like pledge manager order, you will also be included in the Ananubs guide, where we're putting in folklore and other community creations, and so we'll put these in there, so that way, if you have a really good idea and come up with something awesome, then other people could make these items and we can all share it later on once we receive this this guide and everything later when the RPG ships. So anyway, I thought that'd be a fun way to kind of do something instead of just dreading this pledge manager stuff, which is not fun for anyone. All right, let me look back at questions. All right, it'd be nice to have that list. There's a bunch of new heroes. Yep. Oh, here we go. Maybe turn this one off for now. And I'll turn this one back on. We'll be talking about this in a second. Yeah, be nice. I just want to know if I have to make again my selections from the previous campaign in the new PM, because I read some comments about having credits. Oh, okay. No, I don't believe you should, because my order, which I'm going to show here in a second, actually already appears in there, and I'm not being charged at all for it, which is the intention. You shouldn't have to redo any of your work that you did previously. So if you're in that $5 tier, and I mentioned this early on in the video. If you're in the $5 tier and you've already gone back into your link and you're still having that problem, definitely send an email to Dragori letting them know, show the screenshots and everything of what's happening, and we'll try to get that fixed. Okay, came late. Are the prices increasing in what was stated in the Kickstarter? Some things are increased in price, but I don't see a lot of price increases so far is what I'm seeing. But we'll get to that here just now, actually. All right, the last thing is the Pledge Manager early details of the little early preview. So luckily I was able to get a link to get in and start looking at this. Like I said, I'm not fully there yet because I just received it before we even got the stream going. So I just took down some quick notes that I wanted to bring up because there's some information that Dragori has not talked about before that you guys need to know. Or I believe you guys at least should know that this is, something that's here now. Okay, so one thing is, so here's the Pledge Manager. The first thing you do in this rewards section is you pick your pledge. You may also, I'll just show it real quick. Okay, so here's my pledge. It's the 338 RPG plus Super Kit mini order, so which is like, one of the biggest ones there. And then you'll see here's the stuff I mentioned earlier about my order. See how it says, let me know if you guys can't see it, by the way. I can always make it a little bigger here. Maybe that'll help. Okay. Other selections include, these selections were previously purchased with Tanares Adventures. So these are things that are going to be here, but I don't have to actually do anything else. They're already there. Then there is manually added selections included. We're going to definitely talk about this one in the Pledge Manager video. What this means is Dragori has gone and added this specifically to your order based on certain factors. So the mystical pack here, that is added because I am a returning backer and I had a pledge that was over, I'd have to look it up. I think it's like basically at the miniatures and cards pledge or higher. I think at that pledge is where you get the mystical pack for free. So that's one that they added. I did not add. I have to double check. Like I said, I haven't gotten enough time with this, but I don't think you can remove this. If you can, do not remove it. If you remove it, you will not receive this item. We had people in the last Pledge Manager remove reworked heroes, and they did not get their reworked heroes, and then emailed and were upset at Dragori that they didn't get them. But that was because they removed them, and they didn't realize that they needed that. So do not remove these if you have them manually added to your order. Okay, the next one, the Gold Dragon. This was manually added to my order because I backed within the first, I think it was 24 hours. Well, like I said, the Pledge Manager will talk more because there's a certain backer number you needed to get specifically to get this, but that's why these are here. All right, so you confirm, you say where you're going, then you get certain selections based on your order. This will change depending on essentially some of the things that you picked. So for example here, just let me quick, that'd be nice. Okay, came late. Yeah, okay, we got all those. Okay, so next thing here is Slipcase. So for the all-in pledges, they made the Slipcase free. This is one thing that I already told them that they should have maybe specified a little bit better, because if you haven't really followed super closely, you may not know this. The white Slipcase is the one that you previously had to pay for. It's the one with the holographic eye on the side. You'll see it right here on the side. This is the white one. If you select the black one, you'll get the original Slipcase. So it does show up actually in the picture, which is nice. But if you really wanted that special one with the holographic side, like I said, this was the one they were going to have people pay for. And then they included it for free for the all-in. that's it there. So you got to select that. It says just white slipcase. I believe personally I would have made it say like holographic slipcase, or like special deluxe, or whatever name that we were supposed to have used on here. I just thought I'd clarify that for you guys. Okay, next thing is you'll get stuff about painted options. So you can pick, like my order includes the penumbral pack and the penumbral dragon, which you can get just the normal pack, or you can get it upgraded. And this is just the dragon, just so you know, it's just the penumbral dragon will come painted for this $19 upgrade. Then we have the same here with the penumbral. God, I always screw up this name. Everyone's gonna keep making fun of me over this. Trask, I think, is the penumbral Trask. So if you pick this one, you're just gonna get it regular. If you upgrade, you get the painted version of this. Like I said, the picture updates. So this will be part of your pledge. Do not add it later. If you add it later, you'll be paying for 2 paint jobs. So there's still some funniness around this, and I really don't want to get into a lot of details because it just sounds stupid. But basically, yeah, there's a few other issues that one other issue that I've seen so far being in the Pledge Manager, and they'll need to fix that before it gets sent out to everyone. Okay, so the next page here is the extras. This is why I wanted to look with you guys here. So Gold Dragon, if you had a high pledge, then you can get the discount for $15. So that's the cheaper version there. If you this is an extra one, by the way. So if you already got it early, then like in the 24 hours, then you already have it. Otherwise, you can add it on for $15, which is actually cheaper than the standard price, which is I think like $30, like $29 or something like that. So this is the cheaper version if you have a high enough pledge, which has to be at miniature cards and higher. Okay, here's that new one that we were talking about before, the all-in Pledge Manager. So the Pledge Manager all-in free shippings. That is accurate. I tried it myself. If you add this on, you will get all the items with no additional shipping cost. So that's actually, in my opinion, really good deal. Anyway, so it includes all these items here. You'll have 3 items here that talk about like the reworked heroes, which you would have to add on as well because they can be included in other pledges. So if you have to still manually do that, kind of like what we did in that earlier section with the Pledge Manager. All right, another important one that I wanted to talk about here. So previously, I think we had mentioned, and this is why I wanted to bring it up, that like the Tanares RPG was going to have its own sleeve pack. So this is 750 plus sleeves and Ziploc bags for all cards and rewards revealed in Tanares RPG, such as the Penumbral Pack, Power Deck add-on, GM-less Adventure Pack. It comes with a few spares to guarantee that all your cards will be sleeved. So this is new, was not mentioned before. So you want to make sure that you'll get that. Just so it's clear as well, the one that's shown here in this Pledge Manager all-in, I believe, is the 1,000 plus, which is for the board game. So anything that's related to the, like if you got everything out of the Tanares Adventures board game, it's going to work all for that content. But the new stuff, like Penumbral Pack and the Classes Pack and stuff like that, you would need to get this sleeve pack for. So make sure to add that if you want all the stuff, okay? Anyway, just wanted to let you guys know. There's a lot of these other items that we already know about. Okay, dice. I wanted to bring up dice because someone mentioned this to me before, and I wasn't sure if they just didn't see it or not. I wish I had my picture. I have a picture on my phone of it. But basically, if you were in the original, just pull it up. I'm just sorry, guys. I'd rather just show you what it actually is than showing you incorrect. Oops, this is not the right one. I'd rather show you the correct information than just trying to make you guess what I'm talking about. Okay. We go down to the add-ons. This is from the first campaign. The dice and sleeves add-on. Now the dice is not part of it. So the dice are gone. They're not going to do these dice anymore. So even though it says 8, previously what they were actually shipping was 16 dice. So 8 dice, one for each class essentially, and it's a D20s, just so you know, they're all D20s. And then during the production, when they made the first game, they actually messed up because, well, they didn't really mess up, but the manufacturer made translucent dice. But people saw this and they said, this is like opaque dice, not translucent dice. And so Dragori basically they gave you all of them for free. So you got 16 instead of the 8 that we thought we were getting. Well, apparently they're not doing the dice anymore. So that is no longer part of this new Pledge Manager. There is this thematic dice set, but this is the one that's more for the RPG. So you get, I guess it doesn't have more information, but you get the 7-piece polyhedral, which is like the penumbral dice, and then the 16 class dice. So those are the ones that match to the hit dice of each of the classes. Okay. I think that's really the main things that I wanted to go over here. There's a lot of way more information in here that, like I said, I'll be kind of digging in deep more on each of these add-ons and all the different items here in the future. But for now, that is... Oh, wow. I can't believe I almost forgot this. That's why going through slow. Translations. Okay, so there's the board game translations, which we know about. I think the price did increase a little bit from Tanares Adventures. So if you want it translated in a different language for physical board game pieces, then you need these. Then they offer digital only RPG translation. So if you get a digital reward for RPG books, you can add this on and you'll get those digital rewards in French instead of English. So anyway, and then there is also the physical version, and this one is actually free. So if you want, essentially you want your RPG book in French and you don't want it in English, then you have to add that. You need that book as part of your order, but then you also add this update, this add-on, and then it'll be included as part of that. That'll be, part of that price, or at least the total price. So this specific physical RPG content part is free, is what I've been told. Okay. Anyway. That is it for today. That's probably way longer than all this needed to be. And like I said, we'll be talking about this more. Anything else you guys got? 'Cause that will probably be it for today. Mexican flag. Yeah. I didn't make the graphics. Oh, yeah. Meeting Tanares Adventures, the journal video came out today. So come check on my channel. I think I have it right on the front page now. It's the newest one out there. So make sure to check that out. It's only like 6 minutes and give you the breakdown on the journal. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that is really